Well, so when we look at the scripture, the Bible is the photo on the puzzle box. Our Bible, when we open up the Bible, when we read the scripture, we see a picture of how God designed life. And in the very beginning, in Genesis chapter 1 and 2, we are told of how God's original design was, is that he created mankind so that we would know him, love him, and walk in fellowship with him. And then in Genesis chapter 3, sin entered the world. Sin leads to death, it leads to brokenness, and God's design was shattered into 1,000 pieces. And the rest of all of Scripture is the pieces that point to Jesus. Jesus himself being the corners. He is the cornerstone. He is the cornerstone. He is the plumb line. He is the edges of the photo of our life, of what we were meant to be. And Jesus himself describes the scripture as the multiple pieces of the puzzle of faith or puzzle of life that fit together to form the beauty of God's great design. When Jesus was crucified on a cross and he was resurrected, he had some encounters with some folks for several days. Jesus begins to explain to them how the Messiah must suffer and be crucified and rise again. He takes all of those scattered scriptures, prophetic scriptures in the Old Testament, and he puts the pieces together to point people to the hope of himself. The pieces point to Jesus.